It's another edition of Checking In with Hein and Johnny, where the hosts bring in mystery topics that neither host knows anything about until the mics go hot and on the air. We are the show that keeps the host from talking about the weather and World War II 24 hours a day. Hey, Heinie, man, what's on your mind?
As you can see, Henry is out inoculating orphans in Burma. We're not as important as the nuns and orphans in Burma. So he has taken the week off and told us he's sick of talking about Halloween, so you've got us. The Kiefmeister is with us. Hello, Kiefer.
It's great to be here, and I will tell you right now, I'm not in the Tonga, doing inoculations or anything of that matter ever since I had to do stool samples for my proprietary doctor to see if I had parasites. I was told it's supposed to be like a pet or a cat, and but I was told not to go to Tonga to do inoculations anymore.
It can be invasive. They can crawl in. I love the stories where the doctor has got a pair of tweezers and he's waiting for the parasite to come out and he tweaks it and then pulls out.
Yeah, no way. And when you said invasive, I was worried that you were talking about the inoculations themselves or if it's the doctor and the parasites, because really both ways can be very bad.
Well, I mean, people talk about our pod as invasive, so...
Usually I put the headphones on my ears.
You put them somewhere in the posterior. One weird thing is it only took us 30 seconds to talk about buttholes and poop. And
speaking of buttholes, Halloween season's coming up, so...
That's an unusual leap from... Anyway, Halloween is coming up, so it is our Halloween prequel. One natural thing about Halloween is that it is equal and parallel to the depression of our Gator quarterbacks every year. So as we get used to fall, we also get to be sad and mournful about how bad we throw at quarterback. So,
great. Yeah, not great. I was sitting over the weekend considering, and honestly, you could put this up at any time because it's going to be, until we change quarterbacks, it'll be the same way. We are giving it off to the other team more than I hand out candy at my house. When I thought 4 was too many, 5 was too much. And honestly, at this point, if we could beat anyone, even the Land Sharks, which we supposedly beat, I'm more concerned.
Yes, the podcast is a time machine, and we can say how depressed we are in advance because we know the future. So where do you fall in the pumpkin spice spectrum?
I, being born a millennial, pumpkin spice latte, is such a big deal. It actually costs more than the pumpkin patch ticket itself. And you have to deal with the vampiric barista when you go through the drive-thru because you never want to go in for it. The pumpkin spice.
Oh, you're too embarrassed? You won't? It's impossible.
No, yeah, definitely not. Yeah, and honestly, when you usually go through the drive-thru, you're noticing the fact that you, because you are a millennial, you offer it to your whole team because you're usually late to work. So you actually offer that to people in an effort to be able to get in late to work. Be like, hey, does anybody want something from Starbucks? And somebody will always want either a pink drink or a PSL, as they usually like to call it, the pumpkin spice latte. And that usually will be your ticket to showing up to work late, if you do show up to work as a millennial.
Millennials even have a sweet acronym for it. Nice.
Yeah, PSLs. That's what they usually call the women too. That's like are you basic? Are you plastic? Or are you a PSL? And I have had run-ins with PSLs all my life. And yeah, definitely millennials, we're hardcore about that. Yeah.
Henry and I are so old that it's lucky we're getting a little blast of youthful. The only time we've ever gotten youthful splendor is from you and Connor. Henry.
Yeah, well, he's gifted. I am not. I will tell you, as we get into holiday season, there's that one, and then there's always the trends, the TikTok trends, those things that are really exciting. People like to do charcuterie boards to go to parties and things like that. A few years back, it was right. Yeah, millennials though, we don't want to do the usual, so we do like butter boards, right, where you do butter and then they sprinkle like some sea salt or Himalayan salt because it's super healthy. But
Ooh.
this year, I have a insider trading that it's going to be carving avocados because we love the toast with a little guac, avocado toast. Instead of pumpkin carving, it's going to be avocado carving. Yeah.
Well, that's going to be adorable. One thing is the problem with avocados is that it is a crapshoot. Have you noticed you can get an $8 avocado that is basically purchasing a pebble from the stream, and you can also pay $1 and get this fantastic, perfect, ready for salsa.
Yeah, you might as well just go get the salsa. Might as well get the ready to go. It doesn't turn brown the moment you open it up. It's not spooky. It doesn't turn like into your like bile. Those things are really important.
Yeah, and if they've already vetted their avocado, then it's already delicious and soft. No matter what happens, you cannot know if it's just going to be a big glob of brown, disgusting, molded thing.
So where are
Around.
you getting your avocados, John? Because I ask, I get mine because California avocados, right? Like that's their big thing. They're happy
That is their big.
avocados, or Mexico avocados, big time. Are you getting yours from like New Mexico, like Henry style? I'm curious because my avocados have always been good, and my wife likes my avocados.
Now, are we
We're still
still
talking
talking
about
about
avocados. Yeah, that's what I was going to say.
avocados?
Yeah. But because when you talk about how off and on they are, you're almost talking like baseball. Like the ball is too firm, the ball is too soft. My avocados have never had a problem.
Well, that's why I
You know,
talk about black and shriveled. That I
sure,
mean,
sure,
I
yeah,
so everybody loves avocado toast. That's not
yeah.
just.
No, it was made popular by the millennials, and
Yeah.
yeah, that kind of thing.
It
Yeah.
is delicious, but avocados are not the cheapest item, though, right? It's not the. It's a little more
Mm,
pricey. It's like, at least in my mind, it's not like bananas.
no, and I gotta tell you, avocados are just disgustingly expensive, along with eggs, which I know eggs are. We have so many of them. I go on a freeway and you're bound to see a truckload of in servitude chickens, and I know that we're doing that in an effort. Honestly, I don't care if they're caged or not caged. I just want eggs. Damn it.
They're delicious. And another thing, I do not. I mean, I have to proclaim. I'm sad to say this, but delicious buffalo wings, crispy
Yeah,
and dunked
yeah.
in barbecue sauce. I don't care if these poor chickens have a noose around their neck and they're being stretched and being given hormones every half hour. They're delicious.
Yeah. You could Braveheart them all you want. If they want to cheer for their freedom, that's great. Until they get pitchforks and knives, we deserve eggs at a relative price. Avocados are the same way, especially since when I try to make avocado or guacamole, it's actually honestly a science project where I think I might be getting hurt. You know what I mean? You're bound 50-50 shot that you're gonna cut your hand trying to take out the pit.
The pit is the onion. It's like a mango. Avocados and mangoes have ridiculously large eggs inside. No,
Yeah,
it's not economical.
So back to your question though, with Halloween coming up, I will tell you there are certain trends that are going around recently for Halloween in my age bracket. Not to age you out or anything, but a couple things. For instance, like we don't bob for apples anymore. As a millennial, we actually scroll or
Disease.
we actually scroll for therapy coupons. Things like that. We actually are yeah.
Scroll for Zoom therapy. I have to admit that I probably would get just as much value out of a Zoom therapy session as a regular therapy. In fact, probably I might be a little more willing to like spill my guts, don't you think?
Oh, 100%. If I know that you are a therapist, probably out in the middle of Haiti, who
Yeah.
has a degree through some type of third party, absolutely 100%. But if I have to sit on that short couch and talk to you about my problems, I'm not showing up. I don't want to do it.
It's weird.
Yeah, it's nothing. Also for Halloween, I don't know if you haunted mansions, haunted houses. Did you all do that when you were younger?
Yes, there was this fantastic old dilapidated house that like everybody went to. It's actually expensive for back then. It was like $20. And they'd scare the bejesus out of all of us. And yeah, at least once a year, we'd go to this thing. And I think they, did like the proceeds went to charity. So you didn't feel like you were, doing something ridiculous for the man's profit. But it was super scary and fun. Great night out. Most of the time when you're driving, you've got your license, but you don't have a ton of money. You're looking for fun stuff. And that was How about you? Did you ever go to a haunted house?
Well, again,
Or
I will tell you, I'll bring in the millennial aspect of it. It's very low effort, low cost. The spookiest haunted mansions or haunted houses are just going on Zillow and looking for houses that we can't afford. And it's a nightly thing.
the scare tactic is the monthly payment that you'll never be able to afford.
Yeah, 100%. Honestly, it's free. And we revisit that. So when kids are going out, when I bring my kids who are at the perfect age for trick or treating, and I have them go to different houses, and my wife tells me, "Boy, that house is awesome. Let's go on Zillow and look at it." That's the spookiest thing, honestly. It's cost free. All I have to do is go on there, and then afterwards, I go see my therapist about it. Because that's the way it is.
Because it's overwhelmingly scary.
Yeah.
Also, something that is a little bit scary is the thought that people are trick-or-treating at my house and then immediately looking up to see where I go poop. That's
Yeah, 100%. I want to know how many. Yeah, do you have bath? How many baths do you have? Honestly, see, what's the difference between a millennial and like say a serious like baby boomer is the fact that they like will actually ask you. You knock on the door, the kid says, "Hey, trick or treat." You give them candy, and while you're giving them candy, the old person says, "Boy, what wood is this using this door?" They start knocking on your door. They kind of walk in uninvited.
Is that
That's
solid
the difference.
hardwood?
Yeah, we don't want to ask. In fact, we have our kids get out of our car and then run up to you. So,
Nice.
that's the reality is we have zero want for human connection.
You know
More
what you
so,
should
yeah.
do, now that I think about it? You should train the kids to ask if they added the shiplap or if it was already in. I see that's nice shiplap, Mr.
Yeah.
Anderson. I need to make sure that I make use of your brain trust. So what are some of the millennial things that I won't notice because I'm a boomer? Okay,
Well,
boomer,
Yeah, right. It's exactly
tell
right.
me
That's the
your
segment.
stuff.
It's pumpkin spice latte isn't seasonal. It's a year-round personality trait. That's the getting off point. That's the start for sure.
Nice.
So the next one, and mind if I read off the screen here, I have a list that I prepared for you.
Read away. This is so much more professional than Heinie and I. We never write anything down.
Hey, listen, we come prepared, right? So trick-or-treat bags are replaced with reusable tote bags that say live, laugh, loot. That's another one. Yep.
Do you have good memories when you were trick-or-treating when you were little?
Oh my gosh, yes. So earliest ones were, of course, the classic. You get the mask, and it's 1,000 degrees inside said mask, right? Because it's like government plastic. I mean, it's like it's legitimately like PVC pipe style.
You can't. To be honest, you can't use it all night. It's too hot.
Yeah, it's so hot. And so that was number one. And of course, wearing that. And then number two was the fact that the costumes, because they have 8 pounds of muscle on them.
Yours did?
Well, yeah,
Because you had the built-in muscles.
Yeah, the pounds, the muscle. So again, you're overheated, that kind of thing. You're just like sweating, but you will do anything for the free candy. Because again, night out, humans are giving out just free candy willy-nilly.
Chocolate.
Absolutely. You'll do anything for it.
I love that. I love it.
Around
And
like
any
12 or 13, the gift was actually doing the spooky Halloween.
Oh, so it changed. Yeah.
Yeah. Right around 12, you're kind of like, I don't want to go get the candy because I can give out the candy, but to give out the candy, I need to see some like real like trepidation. We really wanted to spook and scare people. Myself and my brother, we used to do that all the time. And boy, it was a great time. We had a great neighborhood. And it was
The
awesome.
neighborhood loves older kids ruining Halloween for little kids. It's just...
Yeah, making it so scary and spooky. Our house, we had a door that was kind of like in a pathway into the back of the walkway. So, you know, we could either give up candy at the front, which we, of course, if you were nice, you would do that. You just leave a chair out there, put some candy, or sit out there with it. But no, we made them walk through us sitting there like gargoyles, like standing as a guardian angels of the candy, and we would spook and scare them and making them run away from our house.
That's the American way, ruining stuff for little kids. That really... But Halloween, it's kind of okay because once a year, that's probably all right. Most Halloween things are so that the girls can dress up like hookers.
Well, right, yeah. I mean, if it's cold, I mean, they're Eskimo hookers. Exactly right. They want to be a nurse, and the father's like, "Oh man, she's dressing up a nurse. Like that's really awesome because she's going to be, that's a PhD.
She'll be a nurse. She'll be a doctor.
She's going to be a doctor." And then you see the outfit, and the first thing you ask is, "Was it half off for the half amount of fabric they used for it?" And no, that
was a great dad joke. Was it half off?
Plenty of those. Yeah, but legitimately, I almost feel like I have to assign or say yes to agree a form when I go to the Halloween store because of how bad the costumes are, how naughty they are, the photos of them. I actually have to pay $17.99 a month just to walk in there. It's kind of like that, if you remember back in the old day with Blockbuster.
OnlyFans.
Behind the curtain. It's so bad.
Well, once a year we want our daughters to look like prostitutes and OnlyFans owners.
Absolutely. I mean, listen, every parent wants their children to make money and make it well. We never really usually specify how they do it until they are not doing what we want them to do.
Yeah, now you can do the internet. Chris Rock's thing of my goal is to keep my daughters off the pole. Nowadays, it's...
Yeah, Charlie Sheen just talked about it with was it Denise Richards on his documentary. Was it Life at 50 or something like that? Charlie Sheen's thing on Netflix about how he has a really rough relationship with his daughter because she has an OnlyFans, and honestly, it doesn't surprise me knowing Charlie Sheen.
Well, he's an outstanding example. He is,
and so is his wife, who also definitely didn't model or do anything, right? So,
we love that.
Other things I would say.
Yes. And pray tell, I apologize.
No
I
worries.
Derailed it by asking about whores in Halloween costumes. Sorry.
Horror stuff during Halloween. Well, the other thing we do as millennials is we watch a scary movie, but you got to forget those haunted houses we talked about earlier. Nothing's more scarier than at midnight looking into your student loan debt. Go online and then see the debt that you have that you probably aren't paying for because you put it off.
It's not being paid, and it's just gaining interest.
Yeah. We already talked about it, of course. We don't carve pumpkins. We do avocados because we want to make sure our avocado toast is fresh November 1st, of course, for that fall, season.
Well, what's the season of avocados?
Definitely harvest. That fall harvest, nice sweater, cardigan, as the Swifties would say,
Well, it seems like we have, Cinco de Mayo seems like I eat guacamole at that time, right?
No, that's because you're a racist.
Well, that's nothing new. That is not a new observation.
Yeah. Avocados during Cinco de Mayo. You're supposed to be celebrating the independence of Mexico, which, by the way, just full disclosure, they don't celebrate.
We do
celebrate it.
We do that.
Liquor.
Good excuse. Definitely leprechauns and definitely Cinco de Mayo.
Yeah,
it's for sure a reason to drink.
And Ireland always looks for reason to drink.
Good reason.
For sure.
I think a good reason for them is just Wednesday. Thursday.
Yeah, exactly. I mean,
Friday.
The potatoes go away, we drink. That kind of thing.
Tom Selleck. The only thing weird I know about avocados is Tom Selleck owns avocado trees, and he's constantly moaning about avocado production.
I mean, that's a strange thing when you have a mustache that beautiful. Personally, I would think you'd want a, what was it, a Folgers ad or something, something like like a cafe.
Him and Sam Elliott, those two dudes could do an OnlyFans of just their mustache.
I was going to say, recently you noticed T-Mobile's got Billy Bob Thornton on it. I know he's on, was it Landman? But he's out there wandering in the middle of nowhere talking about T-Mobile. And now he's the American man.
Yeah. He's got the anti-hero look and sound to him. So now we trust him.
Real quick. So instead of candy, we millennials hand out emotional support crystals. That's the other thing. Yeah.
Sapphire. Yeah. And then you instruct them, rub them when you're stressed.
What was the Reiki? The Reichi? You kind of feel the vibe.
Reiki. I think that's Reiki, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it better be Reiki. You can't be touching. You can't be touching another kid's massages. You got to do the Reiki above. You can't go to jail.
Right. So group costume ideas. We always loved idea.
Is that a millennial thing?
Absolutely. Mom, dad, we all dress up together. I know from my own point of view, we never dressed up as a family. I wanted to be C-3PO. You weren't dressing up as Darth Vader. But boy, nowadays, the whole entire family does.
Got to be a thing.
And then they have to do if you're a true millennial, you have to make it yourself. So you have to rip up your bed sheets.
Wow.
You have to go to some poor children's store and find garments that don't match at all. And then that's how you make it. And that's extra points.
That's too much work.
That's why you start December, right? Because
of the previous year.
January, exactly right. January 1st, yeah.
Well, tell me the other top 5 things of weirdness that we need to know about millennials.
Number 1, the scariest costume of all is turning 40. Yep, that's number 1. Is knowing that you are seeping into your parents and you're turning into them. Nothing's scarier than 40. Yeah, that's from millennials, man. You're no longer able to just listen to Blink-182 and be cool and wear jean skirts. Yeah.
No, definitely 40. I mean, we even have a Rudd movie about it. That's how powerful. 40 and 50, I think, is massive. Once you're past 50, you're just
30 old. Actually is fun. 30 is fun because you're no longer in your 20s, because that's when everybody makes those mistakes, whether it be you choose X, Y, and Z, you get married twice and accidentally have to exit out of that marriage a couple times. 30 is a big year for people to be able to enjoy that decade. 40, there's no going back. You are now minivan soccer mom.
That is delightful. I remember my minivan. So
you
that's not just millennials.
Yeah, because you don't get married, right? If you're a woman and don't get married by 40, you are definitely the drinking aunt at that point. Yep.
You have cats.
I'm sorry. Yeah, and they're just waiting for you to die so they can eat you.
With that, we are finished for the week. I hope the orphans get inoculated. Kiefer, it was a blast. We'll see you next week. Bye-bye.
Thanks for listening to Checking In with Hein and Johnny. You can follow all things Hein and Johnny by subscribing to Checking In with Hein and Johnny anywhere you listen to podcasts. Checking In with Heinie and Johnny is sponsored by Conveyors and Equipment. They supply, design, and service all types of conveyors, belting, and material handling equipment since 1972. With 3 locations to serve you, Salt Lake City, Albuquerque, and El Paso. Find them on the web at conveyequip.com. That's ConveyeEquuip.com.